You have to train your expectation to match your desire, instead of letting circumstances train your expectation. In other words, you must let your desire train your expectation. You must let what you want about a subject train your expectation. In other words, your expectation, what it really is, since every subject is two subjects, like a long stick with wanted on one end and the absence of wanted on the other. Whenever you activate a subject, your expectation, all it is whichever end of that stick you've practiced the most, you see. So you change your expectation by having some experiences which cause you to know what you don't want, so you know what you do want. But the funny thing about expectation, if you just let life as it comes to you give you a sort of knee-jerk response, then life trains your expectation. Then what is trains your expectation. You have an employee who doesn't seem to be trying very hard or can't remember things that you want them to remember, and you notice that. You let them train your expectation, and then you can't evoke anything different. And many would say, well, I really don't think it's my job to evoke anything different. I think it's their job to be the way they should be. And we say, but how's anybody going to know how they're supposed to be with the billions of people with whom they might just interact? Would you like to put a course on the internet to the world? This is the way I want you to be when you meet me. I might run into you someday in traffic or at the airport. This is my picture. When you meet me, these are my rules. It's not very logical. You can't even get your kids to respond to that, can you? And so what you want to do is get your expectation of people in general, of life in general, of hotels in general, of hotels who are bringing breakfast to your room. You have to get your expectation somewhere in the vicinity of your desire. You cannot let what is be the reason for your expectation. And that's what the art of allowing is. Allowing is allowing myself, by virtue of the thoughts I'm choosing, to be a vibrational match to the furthermost expanded part of me. Allowing myself to be up to speed with who I have become. Every time life helps you to know what you don't want, you put forth a request of what you do want. And this is the important part for you to understand. You expand. The larger part of you becomes it. Immediately. That's why when we say, ask and it is given, we're not kidding even a little bit. But our physical friends sometimes, in fact often say, that can't be true because I know I've been asking. I wrote it in big letters. I know I've been asking. Don't give me this ask and it is given stuff, because I'm asking, where is it? Where is it? I ask, where is it? I ask, where is it? And we say, you're not asking with your words, you're not asking with your notes, you're not asking with your laws, you're asking with your vibration, and you got to line up with it. You have to learn how to allow yourself to be in vibrational sync with what you're asking for. And when that expectation clicks into place, you'll know it, because the manifestations of everything that you're asking for click into place too. So we are amplifying the word expectation today in a stronger way than usual. Because as we speak of the 3-step process of creation, the first step is ask, and life causes you to do that. So when breakfast doesn't come the way they want it, they ask and ask and ask and ask and ask. We're not kidding. They've been asking and asking and asking and asking. This is a 5-star hotel, they say occasionally. They should know better. They're asking and asking and asking and asking. Step 2 is source answers. Source answers. Because when you ask, a vibrational reality begins to form, and the non-physical part of you, the source, or that which you call God, your inner being, actualize around that vibrational request. It's lined up for you. Step 3 is you must become a vibrational match to what you're asking for. So that's where that expectation comes. I've asked for it, but what do I really expect? If I have a plan B and a plan C and a plan D, doesn't that mean I don't really expect plan A to work the way I wanted it to? Isn't that what it means? If I'm always saving for a rainy day, if I'm looking for trouble and trying to prevent it, if I'm looking out ahead in order to... Esther carried a hanger in her car for years just in case someone needed her to help them get their car open. Because it was so much fun to help them get their car open. Until one day Jerry said, well, now we're up to about 3 a day. You might want to leave that hanger home. And so when you get into this place of expectation, your expectation really is what rules your world. Because even though life is causing you to ask, what has happened is causing you to expect. And if what has happened is causing you to expect less than what you want, you have to train yourself. Creation is about focus. And focus is about being deliberate. And focus with your guidance system awareness is the best creating that can take place. So what we want to say to you is that you are the creator of your reality. But even more poignantly, we want to say to you, the reality that you are creating is you. You are the creator and you are the creation. When you ask for something, you ask for that version of you living that experience. And the thing that so often our physical friends do not remember is that as you sift through this contrast and ask for a variety of things all day, every day, there is a vibrational reality. We're calling it your vortex of creation that is assembling. And the reason that we want to draw your attention to this is because since this is the eternal part of you, this is the larger part of you, since your inner being is the immediate recipient of what you're asking for, and law of attraction is responding to the request from this non-physical you point of view, when you ask, it is given, it is done. It is a vortex of creation. And the reason that that is so is because law of attraction is responding to the purity of those vibrational requests. Law of attraction is assembling all cooperative components. And the question that we want you to ask yourself and find the answer maybe here today is, are you a cooperative component? Esther wants strawberry jam for Jerry. She wants it. But is she a cooperative component when she brings jam with her? In other words, is she a cooperative component? She wants the hotel to respond to her note, to respond to her request. She wants them to succeed. She wants them to be efficient. She wants them to do a good job. She wants them to be proud of what they do. She wants them to earn well. She wants them to please her and other guests. She wants them to excel. She wants their success. But when she brings her strawberry jam, you gotta know she's not really all that much of a cooperative component to her desire, because her expectation is somewhere else. In order to be a cooperative component, you have no contradictory thought. You have no contrasting thought. You have no resistant thought. Your thought about what you want is in sync with who you are and all that you have become. When you get something stuck in your vibrational craw, and that's what a belief is. And sometimes the beliefs that are stuck in your vibrational cross serve you, and sometimes they don't. Expectation is the most powerful word relative to deliberate creating that we can find. Because your expectation amplifies your desire, but really amplifies the vibration and where it is in relationship to the desire. When you want this, and you really want it, but you expect the opposite of it, it's a more active thing in your experience. But your expectation always wins, always wins, always wins. When you are understanding the process of creating, when you remember who you are, when you tap back into that feeling of worthiness that you were born with, then you don't have to be patient about desires manifesting, because they manifest quickly. In fact, the way you intended for it to be, you said, the contrast will inspire me to the new idea, because whenever I know what I don't want, I always know more clearly what I do want. And once I know what I do want, I will just turn in the direction of that, find vibrational alignment with that desire, and it will be. So you didn't come into your physical body planning on taking a long time to create anything. You didn't plan on struggling and suffering. You planned on choosing and focusing. But as you come into your physical experience, many people, even though they choose what they do want, you could hear it with their words. I don't want that. I do want this. I don't want to be sick. I do want to be well. I don't want to have a shortage of money. I don't want to be tight with money. I don't want to be deprived of things I want to do. I do want to have plenty of money. I do want to be able to make choices of what I want to do freely. I know what I don't want. I don't want confusion. I know what I do want. I do want clarity. In other words, you hear people all the time describing what they don't want, what they do want. But the universe is always responding to your vibration. So when you're focused upon being sick in your explanation of why you want to be well, you're keeping active within yourself the vibration of sickness, not the vibration of wellness. And so wellness can't come to you, not while the vibration of sickness is the dominant, most active vibration. Jerry and Esther have been laughing because they have this thing with hotel breakfasts. For a while, breakfast wasn't showing up at all, and they got the bugs worked out of their vibration with that. But now they're on a run where they each want a glass of milk in the morning. And so they fill out the little card, and the milk hasn't been coming. Sometimes one comes, sometimes none comes. So the last 3 hotels, Esther has written in big writing in the special comments section of the little card, 2 glasses of milk, please. And then she draws an arrow from the other breakfast over to it to let them know. And then she writes in the margin, if we need to pay extra, it's okay with us, but we really want this milk. And the last 3 mornings, 2 mornings, no milk came at all. And this morning, 1 milk came, and a hot milk. And so the nice man was kind enough to go get some. As Esther explained to him, I really did write it in really big letters on my order form. So he comes back very quickly with the milk, and they're delighted that they have milk. And then Jerry says, would you please pass the strawberry jam? And Esther said, I don't see any strawberry jam. Do you see any strawberry jam? Esther said, I wrote it right under whole wheat toast. I wrote strawberry jam, please. I circled it. But then Esther said, but in the last hotel, they gave us 3 strawberry jams, and I put 2 of them in the suitcase. I'll go get one. So now Jerry is drinking his milk and eating his toast with his strawberry jam. And Esther said, do you think the fact that I had strawberry jam in my suitcase indicates I expected something to go wrong relative to the strawberry jam? Jerry said, it's worth thinking about. And Esther said, the jam was for you. Where was your vibration relative to the jam? And then Esther said, do you think the fact that I made such a big deal over the milk, you should see her order form. It was colorful and precise. Do you think that came from an expectation of something going wrong? And do you think my expectation of something going wrong is so implanted in my vibration that they are blind to the special instructions that I've written on the card? And we say, precisely. Because when we say the universe is responding to your vibration, we're talking about the nice people in the kitchen too. We're talking about everyone that you interact with. You cannot cover up your vibration with your words or action. Your vibration is dominant. In other words, until Jerry and Esther find it important enough to clean up.